by subscribing and liking the content. Give us a like to continue delivering the most important information. Stay safe by being vigilant. With that out of the way, let's delve into today's news. The issue of GPS jamming and spoofing is multifaceted and involves several parties, not just Russia, but also Israel, in the context of their respective security concerns and military strategies. The information I found expands on the complexities surrounding GPS disruptions, particularly in conflict zones, and highlights how these tactics are employed by different countries for various purposes. Russian forces have been implicated in GPS jamming activities, particularly in Syria, where their military bases are suspected to be the source of signal interference affecting flights to Israel. This interference is part of a broader pattern of electronic warfare tactics that Russia has employed in various regions, including Europe and the Middle East, to protect its military assets and potentially disrupt the operations of adversaries. Israel, on its part, has been using GPS tampering as a defensive measure against Hezbollah's missiles. The Israel Defense Forces have restricted GPS signals in active combat zones to protect against missile strikes, which could potentially endanger civilians and commercial aircraft. This approach, known as GPS spoofing, involves rendering the location of an airplane or missile inaccurate, thus protecting key areas from precision-guided missile strikes. The extent of these disruptions has been significant, with researchers noting the most sustained and clear indications of spoofing affecting commercial aviation and potentially compromising the safety of civilian areas should missiles be thrown off course. Both countries' use of GPS jamming and spoofing highlights the broader implications of electronic warfare tactics in modern conflicts, where the disruption of satellite navigation systems can have significant civilian and military ramifications. The strategies employed by Russia and Israel reflect their respective security concerns and operational needs in the face of ongoing regional tensions and threats. The use of GPS jamming and spoofing extends beyond the immediate tactical benefits in military engagements, touching on broader strategic implications for international security and aviation safety. The deployment of such tactics by countries like Russia and Israel indicates a trend towards more sophisticated forms of electronic warfare that leverage the vulnerabilities inherent in widely used global navigation satellite systems. GNSS. The strategic use of GPS disruption serves multiple purposes, from hindering the effectiveness of enemy precision-guided weapons to masking the movements of military assets. For instance, in the context of Israel, GPS spoofing is a countermeasure against the threat posed by Hezbollah's arsenal of rockets and missiles, aiming to protect key locations and potentially reduce the accuracy of incoming threats. This tactic, while defensive, raises concerns about the safety of civilian aviation, as commercial flights rely heavily on GPS for navigation and landing. Russia's engagement in GPS jamming, particularly in conflict zones like Ukraine and Syria, reflects a broader strategy to degrade the command and control capabilities of adversaries, disrupt communications, and create confusion within enemy ranks. The implications of such activities are not limited to the military domain. They also pose risks to civilian infrastructure and services that depend on reliable GPS signals, including transportation, communications, and emergency services. The international community faces significant challenges in addressing the security and safety risks posed by state-sponsored GPS disruption. Efforts to develop countermeasures and more resilient systems are underway. But the escalating use of electronic warfare tactics underscores the need for comprehensive strategies to protect GNSS infrastructure and ensure the safety and security of global navigation and communication networks. These instances of GPS disruption underscore the evolving nature of electronic warfare and the challenges it poses to aviation safety, military operations, and regional stability. As such, the involvement of both Russia and Israel in these activities demonstrates the complex interplay of technological capabilities, security strategies, and geopolitical dynamics in contemporary conflicts. In summary, the involvement of countries like Russia and Israel in GPS jamming and spoofing activities highlights the evolving landscape of modern warfare, where electronic and cyber capabilities are increasingly central to national defense strategies. The impact of these activities extends beyond the battlefield, affecting civilian life and global security, and calls for international cooperation and innovation in defense and technology sectors to mitigate the risks associated with GNSS disruptions. And now, as we reach the end of our news segment, please remember, for a detailed list of our sources, you can find them in the description of our YouTube video. Thank you to everyone who watched today's program. Remember, by following us, you become part of a reliable source for information and advice. Whether you like the program or not, please press subscribe to join our community. This helps us improve and ensures you are among the first to receive our latest news and programs. Don't forget to hit the like button and share our channel with your friends. Farewell, until we meet again.